Hello and welcome to this video where I compare the Jackery Explorer 100 Plus to the famous Anker 737. Both are really powerful USB-C power banks that can charge laptops. Please stay to the end where I'm going to talk about taking these on flights and if you should or should not. So the Jackery Explorer has two USB ports and both are in and out ports, and it has a USB-A port which goes up to 18 watts. This costs anywhere between £90 and £140. When I bought this, I bought it for £90. This Jackery is rated to be 99 watt hours and it has a storage of 31,000 milliamp hours. It can output a maximum of 128 watts and it weighs 960 grams. Now the Anker 737 has been around for a lot longer than this Jackery Explorer 100 Plus, and the Anker 737 costs anywhere between £79 and £139. For both of them, you've got to find the right deal on places like Amazon and the prices can fluctuate. The Anker 737 has a 24,000 milliamp hour batteries and it has a total power of 86.4 watts. It weighs 630 grams, but its maximum output is 140 watts. So in some cases, these are both very similar. They are very close to being 100 watt hours in terms of total output. The Anker 737 has a higher maximum output at 140 compared to 128 for the Jackery, but the Jackery actually stores more power than the Anker. For the Anker, we've got the same number of ports. We've got two USB-C in and out ports, and we've got a USB-A port, which again goes up to 18 watts. That's it. Both have a display. Now, the display for the Jackery really is quite basic. It records your input, your battery percentage, and your output. And when you are charging it or running something off the power from the Jackery, it gives you an estimated time left. And that would be time left to charge or time left until it runs out of power. It's got some nice sort of stud legs and that's it really. This doesn't make any noise. That's it. Now the Anker 737 does have a much plusher display unit, although you're not buying these for their plush display units. It keeps details like the temperature it's at, its number of charge cycles, how many watt hours of input it's had and how many watt hours of output it's had. And you can also turn the screen on and off and it gives you a clear percentage. One thing that this has, which this one doesn't, is if I go to the main display and I double tap this side button, we get a little dot in the corner and that means it's in low power mode. If I put in a USB cable and I was charging something like AirPods, because that takes such a low power draw from the unit, this would actually turn itself off. But if we put it in low power mode by double clicking this button here, then it doesn't turn itself off when there's a low power draw. We can see it's 0.1 watts. The Anker 737's display shows the output for each of the USB ports. So you get an output shown for each of the USB ports here, whereas for the Jackery you just get a total output. But I'm going to be honest, with the Anker 737 you're not really buying it to know how much power each port is taking, or if you can put it in low power mode. It's a nice bonus, but you could use any power bank to charge your low draw items like AirPods. You're not buying it for that, you're buying it for the high power rating and the fact that this can charge up a laptop. So I don't really see any huge difference between these two. Something that's always concerned me about the Anker 737 is that there have been reports that once this gets past 3,000 full charge cycles, the battery quality can degrade. Now, I'm not there yet because I've only done 80 charges on this Anker 737, but I know from researching on the internet that this is the case, although I don't think this is the case for the Jackery. So that is something to be aware of if you want to use this for a long time. So obviously taking very high powered batteries on a plane is obviously a concern, and that's a safety concern. So the information for both of these says that as they are below 100 watt hours, they are safe to take on a plane. I personally wouldn't turn up at the airport with one of these, because if I had this in my hand luggage or in my bag and there was an issue with security and they said you can't take it on, what am I going to do? I would have to either throw it in the bin or, leave it with security or not go on my flights. So I personally wouldn't take either of these on a flight because they are quite expensive. I don't want to have to leave them at security. If you want to find out more information about either the Anker 737 or the Jackery Explorer 100 Plus, you can watch these videos here.